Hi, this is part 3 of the video recording on what if analysis. In part 3, we look into solver. In part 2, we have see how easy it is to use go-seek. However, go-seek can only use one parameter and all the other values hold constant. If you want to do a prediction by changing more than one parameter, then we have to use solver. All right, solver is more powerful. Solver allow us to set multiple parameters, and these parameters are called constraints. And in solver, you can set multiple conditions using multiple data set for solver to work out the target solution. Okay. As mentioned in part 2, solver is an add-in, and you have to make sure you install this solver, or else you won't be able to do the exercise. So for those of you who still have not installed solver before you do workshop 3, please go to this workshop 2 and do item number 6. The installation of solver is very easy. It will take you no more than 2 minutes. Okay, let's see how we can use solver in our work. Alright, the workbook that we have, there are actually two worksheets. One is SUS, which we used earlier. For solver, we're going to use the workout plan worksheet. Okay, now we want to find out the number of times the trainee has to do a particular activity if a target, carry, burn, and a set of constraints. Okay, so let's take a look at the workbook. Alright, this workbook here, we are going to switch over to the workout plan. Okay, this workout plan shows the number of calories that are being burned by each activity. So if you were to follow the weekly workout plan down here, where you do one high intensity interval exercise, one running, two Zumba, one strength training, at a week you will not do 1 to 5. Okay, now for somebody who want to take training seriously, they will set a target of 3,800 calories burned per week. So what we're going to do is we're going to use solver to find out for us, if you want to have a weekly calorie burn of 3,008, how many activities we have to do for each exercise. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use solver, but we're going to set what is known as a constraint. In other words, for the high intensity interval, we are going to have a maximum of 4 and a minimum 2. Okay, for running, maximum of 3, minimum 1. For Zumba, maximum 4, minimum 1. It means that we want the solver to say, okay, this one is 3,008. 3,008. How many high intensity interval? It could be anywhere between 2 to 4, because we set minimum 2, maximum 4. For running will be a minimum of 1 to maximum of 3, and for Zumba, again, anywhere between 1 to 4. For strength training, we are not setting any constraints, so your strength training will be 1. Okay, we only one solver to find out how we can vary the number of exercises here to achieve the number of 3,800 calories. Okay, so what we do is we can bring out solver. Alright, now this is the solver parameters. So let me just, okay, we look at this one here. This is solver. Okay, set objective E9 for the set objective box. So here, set objective here, this one here, set objective, we're going to use E9. So E9 is here, this is E9. Right, E9. Alright, now E9 you want to set to a value, this one, a value of 3,008. So here we click value, instead of max we change it to value. Okay, we want to value maximum of 3,800. Okay, 3,008. Right, so we want to change. And what are the variable cells? The variable cells are basically these three. Okay, these three, these are variable cells. D5, D6, D7. So here, look here, D5 to D7. Okay, that's all. And then we will go to add the constraint. Now there is no constraint here, but we're going to add constraint. Okay, So we say add constraint, you click on add. Okay, now the constraint box says us, okay, cell reference, which one do you want? So we said, okay, for the first constraint we're going to set. All right, first constraint is we want to set this high intensity exercise D5. Okay, we want it to set it to maximum of 4. In other words, less than or equal to 4. Okay, so here we type 4. Right, so this is the first constraint. This first constraint is basically make sure that the maximum we have for high intensity interval training is 4. Right, okay, so finish. If you click OK, what happened is that click OK, it comes to here and tell us that one constraint has been entered here. D4 less than equal to 4 and not a maximum of 4. Okay, so we still have a lot of constraints to do. So we will say, okay, I want to add some more. So we add. Okay, so add, we scroll down here. Now this down here is basically the interpretation of this part here. Okay, all this interpretation of this part here. So the next one we want is we want to set your D5 to at least 2, greater or equal to 2. So here you type in D5. D5, and this is called an operator. This operator we're going to change it to greater or equal to how many? Okay, this is 2. Alright. So here, if you click add, you find that this value will be added to the this solver constraint, and this will be clear for us to do the next one. Or you can say okay. Okay means you return back. Let's say I click okay. Okay means I return back to here. I have 2, so I'll click add again to add some more constraint. So this one is I'm going to say D6. Okay, D6. D6 is less than equal to 3. Less than equal to 3. This is 3. This one. D6 and the 3 running. So here I'm going to say add. I say add. Add. Okay. So which one I'm going to add? I'm going to add this one. This is D6. D6, and I have to change operator. I change to greater equal. Okay. Greater equal and the 3. You know, so this is maximum of 3. Alright. So I add again. Okay, again, this one here, I'm going to use D6 again. D6, this time the operator, I have to change it to greater equal. Greater equal, how many? Greater equal to 1. Okay, then we add again. Add again, this now is D7. So D7, okay, less than equal 4. Alright, and add again. Okay, this is my last one. D7, this is change the operator to greater equal, and this one is 1. Okay, now this is the last one. Alright, so last one I'll click OK, so that I will go back to the constraint. Okay, so I say OK. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I? Okay, if I do something too much, I will have to delete all. This is 1, 2. This one is repeat. This repeat. So this one I want to remove it. I want to delete it. Okay. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 2, 3. 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1. Okay. This is 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1. All right. So I will go now to my notes to tell you. Okay, there is still one constraint to add. This 6 here is one constraint. Why? Because we have to make sure that the number of times per week are expressed as whole numbers. In other words, when these do the calculation here. Okay, go here. Okay, when we want solver to calculate for us all this value, we want this value to be 1.1, 3.2, 2.1. We want all these to be whole numbers. And in order to make sure that these kind of whole numbers, we have to add another constraint. So I'll click add now here. This part here, add another constraint. I say add. Okay, this around this when this ad comes out, okay, this ad come out. Okay, your cell reference. Okay, cell reference is basically you want three on it. So this is D5 to D7 cell reference. We want these three. Okay, we want these three. And here we click on this launcher here, and we say we want it to be integer, int, right? Int. This part here, int. Okay, click on the launcher, and from the drop down list select int to get the integer constraint. So I click on this one here, this is launcher, click here, I select this. So in other words, we are telling solver that when you do calculation, all these have to be whole numbers. Now why did not include strength training? Because strength training we did not set any constraint, so strength training will remain as 1. Okay, so we say alright, we go back to here. These are the 7 constraints that we have. You kind of look carefully. These 7 constraints I actually put it down here. These are the 7 constraints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now these constraints are arranged in alphabetical order. That's why this is the last one, but it jumps up there because it's D5, and it jumps up to D5. Alright. So once we finish all the constraints, make sure that you come here and say make unconstrained variable non-negative. Okay, we want all this to be positive. Alright, so if this is not tick, we tick it. And then also we want to use the G non-linear method. So if this is not displayed as G non-linear, you have to click here. Okay, click here and you choose. There are actually a lot of methods. There are 3 methods here. We want this one. Okay, G non-linear. Alright, so this is part. Then once you finish that, you can just click solve. Okay, and let's see whether solver managed to find a solution for us. So say solve. Okay, here when message comes here means that I go check my entry. Okay, where did I do wrong? Okay, see, I kind of jump here, jump there until I get this. The objective is here, is this cell, E9. You look up here, objective, all the way up here. Okay, I'll bring this one side. Okay, then our objective is E9. Okay, so I will change this to E9, and then now everything correct. I say solve. Okay, tell me, yes, they found an integer solution within tolerance. All constraints are satisfied. Okay, so I say, okay, since you find for me, I'll click OK and see what happens now. Now, in fact, if you click OK, this is really replaced by all the new number activities. So now here, if I you tell me that in order to achieve 3008, I have to do 4 high intensity activity per week, and then 2 running, 1 Zumba, 1 strength training. Give me exactly 8. So that's correct. Okay, so this is actually one way of doing. If I were to change all these constraints here and change here, I may end up with different so-called number activities. So this is solver. You can set more than one condition. Now, important thing to realize about solver is this part here. This part I want you to understand is that okay, this is what solver. There are times when solver will not be able to find a solution that meets all the constraints. If this is the case, we have to change the value of target, calories burn, and or change the constraint in the maximum minimum times activities per week. In other words, if server says sorry, I cannot find a solution for you, then I have to change either this or change some of this constraint. Okay, sometimes you may have to work several times before you come up with a combination that server can give you the things that you want. Okay, so that's all for workshop 3. We finished already. Make sure you check your answer. Check your answer here. If all the screenshot that I provide, if it's correct, you will submit it to this is I think S79. Okay.